serve quarter pounders, they will put pounds on you. Rock and roll McDonald's, rock and roll McDonald's, rock and roll McDonald's, rock and roll McDonald's.
All right.
Anyway.
Thank you, board, for joining us today. Madison, why don't you tell us what we're going to discuss?
Good afternoon. Let's see. My name is Madison Thomas, and I am the Chief Executive Marketing Assistant here at Premier Consulting. This is Austin Alfaro and
Hello.
Chelsea Herbert.
Hello.
And today we are here to highlight your progress as a company and further explore the areas that could use a few adjustments or new ideas. Today, we will be mainly focused on the company's dynamic prioritization of both its shareholders and employees, which are both very crucial to the foundation of McDonald's. Before we begin, I would like to quickly map out our intentions for this presentation. First of all, we will touch on both McDonald's employees as well as McDonald's shareholders and discuss how the two possibly conflict with each other. Secondly, we would like to present you with our ideal solutions to resolve these conflicts in order to create a cohesive workplace dynamic that would ultimately result in an environment where everyone is loving it. With that being said, we would like to point out McDonald's customer-driven initiative at creating a successful dine-in environment that is always anticipating and responding to ever-changing consumer demographics, as well as trends in food sourcing, food preparation, and consumer reference. We understand that the company operates and franchises McDonald's restaurants, which serve a locally relevant menu of food and beverages in more than 100 countries and has quality assurance centers located around the world designed to promote and maintain consistency of high standards in your products. We understand that the company's focus on delivering long-term growth through system-wide execution of its customer-centric growth strategy, formerly known as the Velocity Growth Plan. We have noted that this plan is designed to drive sustainable comparable sales and guest growth count, as well as reliable long-term measurements of the strengths that are extremely vital to growing shareholder value. The company continues to innovate and differentiate the unique McDonald's experience by preparing and serving your food in a way that balances value and convenience to your customers with profitability via shareholders and employees. Furthermore, McDonald's global brand is typically well known due to efforts from marketing, promotional, and public relations activities that are designed to promote the McDonald's brand and differentiate the company from its competitors. Marketing and promotional efforts focus on value, quality, food taste, menu choice, nutrition, convenience, and the customer experience. With that being said, here is Chelsea to further discuss the quality of food provided by our corporation.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Chelsea Herbert, and I am the Research Development Director. And from my research results, I can conclude when your shareholders are prioritized, it affects the overall food quality. If you were to ask consumers what they think about McDonald's quality, they would probably say it's terrible. We as a consultant team asked 30 random people what they think about McDonald's food quality over a span of a week. More than 75% of those consumers said that the food is awful. Image representation is more important now than ever because with more health-conscious consumers today, they aren't as fast to offer low-quality food, and the quality of your food is considered low. However, consumers only go to your corporation because it's cheap and fast. It is the most convenient type of food when they are in a rush. The cheaper it is for the consumer, the less money comes out of your shareholders' pockets. If CSR is incorporated into your corporation framework, ultimately your shareholders will need to buy higher quality products. This means more money would have to be allocated towards production. However, it will increase menu prices. Your shareholders might view this as a negative thing, however, higher general satisfaction with your corporation would probably increase. If you remember the documentary Super Size Me, Morgan Spurlock ate your food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 30 days straight. The results were uncanny. He experienced a physical and mental decline. He gained over 25 pounds within that period, and he began to feel depressed. Obviously, these are extreme effects, but if the average consumer ate at one of your restaurants 3 to 4 times a week, they would certainly see some side effects in the long term. Due to the high amount of preservatives and additives from your food, the human body doesn't know how to properly dispose of it. Your corporation is not solely responsible for the cause of rising obesity rates. However, at some point you do have a social responsibility to slow down the epidemic, considering that you guys are one of the biggest food chain restaurants nationwide. When consumers are happier with the healthier choices they are making from a company that cares about their well-being, from products they consume, they are more likely to return. Improving food quality will not only generate more returning customers, but lessen the rising rates of obesity and diabetes. Wage distribution is another conflict within your corporation. Your corporation has been hit with multiple lawsuits against breaking labor laws. When your corporation has tried to skimp out on overtime or proper training to keep money in your shareholders' books, your corporation has now been caused to make a payout of $26 million to over 38,000 employees. At the end of the day, either way, employees will eventually get compensated even if it takes a long, hard process. This issue is a huge social problem because the little guys, such as your in-house employees, are doing all the hard work, but they aren't being rewarded for it. Do you know how exhausting it must be to work over 8 hours a day and not be getting compensated for it? As it is already, workers are only making minimum wage. How can you expect them to live off the bare minimum plus not recoup profits from overtime? Oftentimes, these jobs aren't enough to pay the bills. Some workers are required to work 2 to 3 jobs just to make ends meet. All part-time employees who work 30 hours or less don't have any benefits, and the raises that they are offered are extremely minimal. Your shareholders have the privilege to gain profit without having to do much heavy lifting. Therefore, your workers should be afforded proper raises. If your shareholders were put in an in-house employee's position, would they like it if they were not reimbursed for their time? CSR firmly believes in treating others the way you want them to be treated.
Thank you for that, Chelsea. Hello, McDonald's board. My name is Austin Alfaro, the Chief Organizational Analyst within our firm. It is of clear understanding that the McDonald's Corporation is one of the leading, if not the largest, fast food enterprise that our world has seen today. But with every organization comes some serious weaknesses. Your current organizational structure is one that we feel is failing and preventing true CSR principles to flourish and trickle down to your most important components of all, the franchise crew members and your food quality. Allow me to explain what you all might already know. Your current organizational structure is considered a divisional structure. Each division of McDonald's, from the corporate level down to the individual franchises, handles its own operations. We know that your core characteristic of your organization is global hierarchy. Your CEO, Chris Kopczynski, is the director of all business decisions associated with middle managers all the way down to restaurant workers. Disadvantages affecting wages and food caused by your divisional structure begin to appear at this level of power in place by this very structure. If you are not already familiar with the term face work, allow me to remind you. Face work refers to the communication strategies used to negotiate face between self and others. People from individualistic or independent culture orientations tend to be more concerned with protecting or saving their own face, and therefore often use conflict styles that are more confrontational, controlling, and aimed at finding solutions. This sheds light on the rivalry between your shareholders' defensive strategy towards CSR. Unfortunately, your defensive strategy is only satisfying the legal obligations of CSR, instead of being proactive by going above and beyond what is legal. This defensive strategy point also sheds light on your insufficient allocation of your resources, such as cash being invested into proactive organizational benefits that benefit your employees as well as the quality of your food. Now that I have covered your current divisional organizational structure, allow me to suggest an organizational structure that would allow for a smoother adoption of CSR-related principles. That organizational structure is a flat organizational structure. There are fewer levels of management in flat structures. Because of this, overhead costs would drop. More importantly, a strong catalyst to achieve proactive CSR principles, this structure is good for empowering workers in that it allows for less supervision because of workers' heightened work ethics and abilities. We know that putting all this time and energy into these strides for social responsibility will not bring you short-term profits, but it would definitely improve your public image relating to employee wages and food quality, thus bringing you long-term profits. To be more specific, under that flat organizational structure, managers are taking responsibility for larger teams whose members operate with less supervision. Proper delegation leads to empowerment. Empowerment allows others to make decisions and exercise discretion in their work. Empowerment creates a sense of ownership and also increases commitment to follow through on decisions, which leads to working hard to accomplish goals. When employees feel empowered, they are likely to work harder because they not only value the work they are doing, but they have more freedom of choice when it comes to duties. Your employees are currently lacking empowerment that is necessary to influence increases in their wages. This is much less of an individualistic approach and more of a collectivist approach to instilling proactive strategies that drastically improve your workforce and social responsibility. Proactive CSR also recognizes prioritization of objective and resources, but it is unfortunately not as widely accepted at this point in time due to the cultural histories that business organizations have been through cultural histories that business organizations have been adopting over the past couple of decades. Certainly, divisional structure is a dominant force in the organizational world, but as the proactive CSR influence structure organization continues to trend, its long-term rewards and profits will be sure to come. With the flat organizational structure in place, it will also allow for heightened attention to prioritization of resources, not only to increase wages of employees, but to improve the quality of food the empowered employees are serving. In-N-Out Burger is succeeding in such a way. Their workforce is not only incredibly empowered, but they also serve food that not only tastes good and is fresh, made to order. Their prioritization of empowerment and great food has been rooted in their culture and has an enchanting effect on the people who want to work and simply eat at In-N-Out. With prioritization in mind, a flat structure would surely trickle down to food in your organization if you not only empower your workforce to do what is best for them, but also if you empower your customers to eat what is best for them, which we suggest should be higher quality, ready-to-order food that tastes fresh. In conclusion, now that we have highlighted some suggestions regarding the organizational restructuring, we hope you strongly consider our consulting. Your critical conflicts between your shareholders and your CSR implementation are clear and stand out substantially in your employee wages as well as your food quality. With the help of our Chief Marketing Officer's thorough research on your company's drivers for success, our Research Development Director's thorough research regarding your food quality and wages, and my suggestions for organizational restructuring, McDonald's Corporation would have no problem transitioning into a company that leans toward a socially responsible future for all of its stakeholders. Thank you.